My childhood was good. I grew up good childhood and stuff. I started messing up a lot. Been in trouble over and over and over again. I've been homeless. I've overdosed. I've been to prison. Directly prior to this, I had 2.5 years sober at a teen challenge. I was the outreach ministry for them. I found God. I opened the Bible for the first time in prison. It saved my life. When I got out, I didn't do so well. Got back in trouble. Went to teen challenge. Really honed my relationship with God, got clean for a long time, but didn't really follow the stuff. It had a release date to me. All I wanted to do was go out there and prove everybody I was clean and everything. And I got back out there and I tailspinned yet again. By the time I had come here, I was full-blown back in addiction, was selling drugs, using drugs, had completely started breaking all of these things that I had gained back. You know what I mean? Again, I ended up falling asleep in a car and the police found me with multiple counts of distribution. That was the crisis that sent me to jail. My family knows Jason McCormick, one of the guys at the Lynchburg location, and I was accepted and released here. So yeah, I was pretty rough off. I've never tried to be rehabilitated or anything like that. Rehabilitation in my world was prison or jail, which never did any good. You know what I mean? It was the system, if anything, only hurt me worse. Creates a mindset of defenses and, you got to be a certain way and you can't, cry and all these things. God's nowhere in the system, I'll tell you that much, you know what I mean? The teen challenge in this is the only rehabilitations I've ever done in my life. Eagles Nest has been the greatest thing I've ever done in my life, man. Learning and having a personal relationship with Jesus has changed my perspective on everything, and they're a great vessel at delivering it. They have really structured a program to, allow you to get comfortable and then, realize your defense mechanisms and how you operate and to take some ownership, break those walls down, then revisit, why you do drugs isn't because you just want to. It's because usually you have, past traumas, past hurts, past, failures, guilts, and shames that we carry around, man. And that's the stuff that keeps us, keeps that low self-esteem, keeps the weight on us. I know I can fully relate with that. It was no one else's fault, but it was easy for me to keep throwing my life, in the trash because I didn't really have a very good self-image. I was physically out of whack. I was mentally out of whack. I was missing the whole spiritual side of life, and it's really about bringing those three together is how I've been led and shown and feel that life comes into balance is when you can balance the three of those. I had a God-sized hole, and this place has helped me lead me in the right direction to ask the right questions to myself and to the Lord and get the right answers. Inner healing block was probably the best for me. I mean, to go back and I had major traumas with losing my father at a young age and just the tailspins that's went through that, never properly grieving, I got to go back. They taught me what an intercessory prayer is. I got to pray to the Lord. I walked all of my family over to Jesus. They're in good hands now, and I fully believe that, man. And it's given closure to a chapter in my life that took 13 years of running from. And I feel okay with it. This was the first birthday of my dad's that has went by that completely didn't spin me out, didn't break me down. I was in a safe place to speak about it. I feel good about it. It's finally come to a resolution and properly grieved state in my life, and that has been priceless, undescribable. The Lord is there with him. I know where my family is. Well, at first it was kind of uncomfortable, I didn't really know what the Lord's voice sounded like. I guess I had that filed away as my consciousness or something like that. But through the leadership here and the expressing and learning how to hear that voice, and how to recognize it through the Word of God, the people of God, the Spirit of God. Now I can tell when he's talking to me because not only do I feel it, my spirit moves. He speaks different to me than I used to. A lot of my self-image was real broken, real negative, but that's not the way the Lord sees me. The Lord sees me as, redeemed and worthy and a child of God and worthwhile. And he would speak truths over me, like, I have a future for you. And through this communication with him and journaling, I found hope, I found trust. What he tells me I stand on now. It's really rebuilt my life because he's promised me a future. And so far, nothing of what he said hasn't come true. And the Bible tells me that he doesn't lie. So I fully stand on that. And that's developed the faith and the bond between me and the Lord, Obedience, surrender. I have a part to do in this and he'll do the other part. And that's facts. Being honest and open, There's change if you can just be fully honest. You've got to admit that you were broken. You've got to take ownership. You've got to surrender the whole victim mentality that a lot of addicts have. We like to project and blame everybody else or blame circumstance or blame anything but ourselves. But really, when you get down to it, it's been me and my actions. It wasn't everybody else's fault. It was me. I had a major problem with lying and avoiding the truth, aggression and anger, anything to keep you from realizing that I had a problem, anything to keep you from knowing that I was turning the next corner and using, I was a highly functioning addict. I tried to juggle all of that, and portray to the world that everything was all right, when on the inside I was tore up, man. I didn't like who I was. I didn't like anything around me, and all I did was hurt and break those relationships, and that's a real crazy way to live. It's confusing. And finally, the Lord working in me, would call myself out, would be vulnerable and tell the truth in situations that were awkward. We're not used to that, and through that, I found freedom. Through that, I got to work on what was actually the matter and not what I wanted everybody else to think about me. That's where it gets real. That's where you invite the Lord into it, and he's there. It's been a lot of refining, and I had a lot of impurities in me, That's the way, that's the best, analogy I could put on it. Definitely awkward at first, It's really what we've all been looking for, but that's not the way the world portrays it. That's not what you interact with on a day-to-day basis on the streets and stuff. Yeah, it takes a little while to warm up to it, but man, it's a beautiful thing, man. It's good to know that so many people care about you, genuinely care about you. The world in which we live in is the exact opposite of that. Anybody that does that immediately raises red flags because you think they're trying to get something from you or do something like that. So to walk into a culture that is truly operating out of love and kindness and fruits of the Spirit. And 1 Corinthians chapter 13, the love chapter, that's love is kind, love is patient. It's beautiful to walk into that, to grow with your brothers and to build each other up, edify one another. I've never experienced a culture like this. I really haven't. And I would love to see, the world progress in this direction. I fully support it. I feel like for the first time in my life that I have a purpose. I'm rewriting my legacy instead of this dark legacy that no one probably would speak or have much to say because I had died to the darkness, man. Now I want to, let everybody know what took me out. I want to take the exact thing that almost destroyed me, change it around, turn my testimony into helping other people. Through this, God's given me a future and a calling and an identity. He has exposed to me that I'm a really, really good teacher. I'm a really good leader. He's laid these things upon me, so I've taken them seriously. I do Bible studies with the men. I try to be there for the men on the work sites and everything. And I do believe I have a calling to help people. I would like to, use the next half of my life to combat the first half of my life and use that to empower others and edify others, build each other up. They say the testimony is a powerful thing. And I have a very powerful testimony and I'd like to share it. I plan on staying on and doing SLT and helping the people here, giving back to the people that's given me future and hope, give back to the Lord, doing my part in the kingdom. We all have a spiritual gift. It's told, one or more of them, and it's our responsibility to hone in, find out which one you think is yours, talk to the Lord for direction, and then not only, apply it to yourself, but share it with others. And I mean, that's the Great Commission, is to become disciples of the Lord and then spread it to all nations. I mean, and that's exactly what I plan on doing. I believe the relapse taught me more than anything else did this last time, because I had a mindset that I had it, that wasn't going to happen and everything. And, I went out and I started depending on myself and things like that, exactly what they tell us to watch out for. You don't see it in the here and now, but looking back, it was the typical fall. I took it back over. I started forgetting God. I can't just be thrown back out in the world, I know, and just succeed. I need this really slow release. I need, accountability, things that this place offers, and aftercare, and a future staying on. Even the people that are going home, they still want you to be a part of it. I plan on staying right in the envelope of it, because I'm probably going to be a person that needs a program for the rest of my life, or some form of it, to keep one foot in the door, because I just operate a whole lot better in settings like this and around people that care. Just having the accountability, people around me that will notice if I'm off or if I'm having a bad day way before it gets to, use and stuff. But, yeah, definitely. Take that step, make that phone call. That stuff's final. I've lost so many friends, so many family members to drugs, man. Just surrender, ask for help, get help. The Lord will help you. If you will just ask him to, there's great places like the Nest that will help you with that. There's people out there that understand you. There are people out there that love you and will help you. So there's places in order, most of us aren't strong enough to do it by ourselves. So ask for help, get help, be involved. You don't have to know anything other than you're broken. You don't have to have a plan. You don't have to do anything. Just make it here. If you could just make it to the door, man, they'll help you out from there. They've completely rebuilt everything about me. I showed up with 2 bags of clothes and a broken personality. And, not only have they helped me physically, mentally, and spiritually, they've helped me with my legal issues. They've helped me with my dental problems. They've helped me with my health problems. They've gotten me back and forth to the doctor, to the eyeglass place. Yeah, there's hope. There's help, and there's hope would be my message to that. The Lord is in this place. The Lord is reviving souls in this place, through this program and through the people involved in this program. And that's what truly matters, is finding the Lord. Nothing else has really given me the hope and the grace and the forgiveness of myself than our Lord Jesus Christ. And this place has definitely been blessed by him to help the suffering, and it's places like this that are going to help, change the world. I would just like to tell him thank you. I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, y'all have given me hope again. Y'all have given me my life back, restored relationships with my family. I've made new family. I remember I prayed to God while I was here. Is one of the things is I've always wanted my father back, and I've always wanted a brother. I have a sister. I never had a brother. Just weird things. And he answered to me that I'm your father, and I've given you 40 brothers. Just knowing that and being around, and the culture of this place, it's been everything I needed, and I just didn't know I needed it, And now that I'm on the other side, I couldn't recommend it enough, The help and the love that this place is built off of, the resources that this place has, the curriculum that they've, compiled is direct, It's what an addict needs. If you will just be honest and give it an honest approach, this place will change your life. Absolutely. And I couldn't tell him thank you enough.